How you doing, everyone? Welcome back. This is Penelope right here. You gonna look over at the camera and say hi to everybody? Oh, I guess she wants to look this way. No, she doesn't. She wants to look this way to see everybody. So this is my girl Penelope, and looks like yep, she does want to get down. So anyway, um, Penelope and I were discussing some things in the news that I don't think she understood just exactly what was going on because, well, she's a cat. But yeah, situation going on in between the United States and Venezuela, and this has me a bit concerned. I don't have a whole lot of information at present time. I know that the news is still coming out, so I don't know that there are some things that I just don't know yet, and we're going to keep monitoring the situation. As a veteran, I don't like it, right? I don't like it. This is an unnecessary act of war to attack, for the United States Navy to attack a Venezuelan ship like that. An unnecessary, unprovoked act of war. Now, if you want to say that Tren de Aragua, the gang that allegedly had control of that ship, if you want to say, well, they're smuggling drugs into our country, okay, fine. That is still, it's a criminal act, but it is not an act of war. It is not an act of war. It is a criminal act, but it is not an act of war. And to have a president of the United States who's bragging about ending 7 wars that he didn't. He hasn't ended a single war. But he's bragging about ending all these wars while attacking Venezuela. Oh, and by the way, he attacked Iran as well, didn't he? And was it Yemen that he attacked? So, yeah, 3 countries that he has attacked since taking office, but he wants the Nobel Peace Prize, for ending all these wars that he didn't end, including the one that he didn't end, the one that he said he would end within 24 hours, Russia's invasion of Ukraine. But getting a little bit sidetracked here, right? The situation in Venezuela. The Maduro government, Nicolas Maduro, he says that his government has nothing to do with Tren de Aragua. Is that true? I don't know. Don't know. What I do know is I don't trust Maduro, but I also know that I don't trust Trump. Therefore, neither government, whatever you hear from either government, is not to be trusted. So, how do we find out the truth? Yeah, how do we find out the truth indeed? I don't know. I know that, there's plenty of reporting on it out there. I've kind of looked at some of the news on it, but I haven't, thoroughly gone through all of it. I've heard some commentary on it, and I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Venezuela is expecting to be invaded by the United States, according to Maduro. And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if that happens. But considering who we have running things here, it wouldn't surprise me if he chickens out like always, hence the name Taco, right? You got the name Taco with the tariffs. But is he actually going to do something, beyond attack that ship? I don't know. guy is so unhinged and unpredictable, and yet at the same time he is very predictable. And I'm convinced that he's not even pulling the strings, but that's another story. He's not even pulling the strings, and he hasn't been for some time. But I'll get into that in another video. Yeah, I just wanted to put it out there that the United States committed an act of war against Venezuela. Venezuela is expecting that at some point that they are preparing for an invasion by the United States. There are things that we could do without, committing acts of war to stop the flow of drugs into the country. I mean, starting with, how about the demand side of things? Maybe if we didn't have a demand for it here, they wouldn't send it here, right? But that's another topic for another time. So yeah. I don't know. It's not an easy answer, and no, it's not just as simple as everything Orange Man does is bad, right? But I never trust his motives. Never trust his motives. And I don't know just exactly what happens next, where we go from here. Venezuela is expecting an invasion. And in a country where we already don't take care of our veterans, I know this from being one of them, maybe we shouldn't be creating more. That's my thinking on it. Anyway, I'll see you next time.